Welcome, everyone. I'm Robin Smith, founder of the Healthy Relationship Sisterhood and a trauma and relationship coach. And I'm also the founder of the Rock Your Relationship Immersion Program and the Rock Your Relationship Movement. And I'm so happy to be with you this evening or whenever you're watching. We are speaking about tonight, we're speaking about how we scare ourselves in our relationships. So let me explain what I mean by that. And if you see me sniffling, it's because I'm getting over a cold. So we scare ourselves when we think about the worst case scenario. We think about the what if that happens, what if that happens? And we cause ourselves a lot of anxiety and internal tension and strife. So put a yes, I do that in the comment if you know you do that. You go into, you do what we call a flee forward. Your mind goes into the future about what all the things are that could happen in your relationship. And one thing that happens when you do that is that you then tense up, and maybe you have a feeling of freezing or stiffness, and then you use that as an excuse not to move forward in your relationship. So let me back up now and share a caveat that, of course, if you have some red flags that have shown up, you may have some history of, not of mistrust or betrayal, then you have some real reasons to be concerned about the future. So always keeping that in mind, that we want to act with, mindfulness and be attentive to what our needs are and whether our needs are or are not getting met in the relationship. But if you're in a relationship that does feel pretty good to you, it feels pretty healthy, you feel some ease between you, and yet you still have this anxiety or tension that comes up about the future and whether you can go forward together, then that might be a sign. And I'm going to talk about why you might have this kind of fear that keeps coming up, because it's going to prevent you from moving forward and sharing on a deeper level, creating the intimacy you might be longing for, making a bigger commitment. So these are some of the things that are going to be in the way if your fear is strongly in the way, loud, and prohibiting you from making a bigger commitment. You will not be able to relax. You will feel tense all the time. You will be in a more negative mind state, and it will be hard for you to create intimacy together. And it'll be hard for you to make those bigger commitments, like moving in together or getting married, if that's what you want, or having kids, or whatever those things are that you think you want. So again, assuming that there are no big red flags and in general you feel really good about the relationship, why might this be happening? Why might you be scaring yourself with these negative thoughts and these horrible, worst case scenarios that you're making up? Well, a big reason is, one, there's a few reasons I'm going to share. One is, like I said, if there have been some red flags in the current relationship, maybe in the past. So if there was some betrayal in the past, there was some a breach of trust, then you have a real reason to not feel trusting and to not feel at ease now, because you're working on building trust again. So that's one main reason it might be hard for you to trust in things going okay moving forward. Another reason, number two, might be that you have it not in this relationship, but in other relationships, you've experienced betrayal or a breach of trust is pretty much the same thing, right? Or lack of honesty or being hurt by somebody. And so those are, again, reasons why you may feel not able to trust that it's going to be okay in the current relationship, even if things are going really well. And the third reason, and these are all pretty much related, is that if you have a hard time settling into your current relationship, it may also be because you have a very early history. So maybe not as much in your adult relationships, but in your childhood relationships, where again you were not treated fairly, you were not, maybe there was inconsistent attention. So someone was there for you and then not there for you. There was some abandonment. Maybe there was, again, some hurt or betrayal, which caused you to feel not trusting and not safe, basically. So just taking those things in, and please leave a comment if you have any questions or comments about any of this. And so the most important thing to be able to create depth in a relationship, intimacy, and a deeper commitment is safety. You must feel safe. And to me, safety includes trust. You have to trust that you're being held in the relationship, that your partner is there for you, like they say they're going to be there for you, that they want what you want, that you're on the same page in general. These types of things are important for you to feel like that, the ease and the sort of the settling in that can happen when you feel safe. And so clearly the opposite of not feeling safe is there's tension, there's contraction in the body, and there's that anxiety that goes along with that, which is, I don't know if it's going to be okay. I don't know if I'm going to get hurt. I don't know if he's going to betray me or she's going to betray me. I don't know if we can work it out. Something bad can happen. It happened before. It could happen again. And so when there's that inner tension and concern about the future a lot, then the inner work is to, well, it's not just inner work, it's outer work too. So there's this inner work with yourself to really check with, one, do you trust yourself? Because if you don't trust yourself, it's hard to trust that you're going to be okay. So you need to develop a sense of inner trust that you will take care of yourself if something happens. If you guys start going different directions, if you feel like he's or she is not being honest with you, if you decide, for whatever reason you can't work it out, that you can trust yourself to make the right decision to take care of yourself first. So that, I think, is number one in these situations in order to be able to move forward. And number two, and maybe these are kind of tied in a way, is that you have to build trust together. You have to build trust in your relationship that someone has your back, that someone keeps their word, that someone does what they say they're going to do, or follows through. Various things like that. Follows through on agreements, follows through on actions and on their word, so that you can develop safety. And this takes time to develop. No one should immediately trust anybody, because trust should be built over time, and it has to be earned. So when you and if you've had some breaches of trust, then it's going to take even longer to build that trust or to rebuild the trust. So it takes some patience too. So I want you to keep that in mind. If you have a history of mistrust or betrayal or being hurt or abandoned by somebody or rejected, then you might need more time to develop trust in yourself and in your relationship. So let me know if you have any comments or questions on that. And the other thing I wanted to say is that this is why I believe that relationships should take time before going to the next level of commitment. So in general, unless you really, really trust yourself and you really, really know yourself, it's wise to take some time with somebody so you have a sense of safety with them before you jump to the next stage of commitment, which might be moving in together or sharing your finances or getting married or, co-parenting their kids or whatever it might be. You want to have enough territory, shared experience, history together, that your nervous system feels safe to say, okay, I know this person will handle things this way. I pretty much trust that, we're going to work this out. And also, again, that trust in yourself, that even if something were to happen unexpectedly, someone gets hurt, someone gets ill, someone dies, or you go different directions, that you can trust yourself to take care of what you need to before you make those huge commitments. And then not only that, but of course things can happen even if we do make big commitments, even if we did all the groundwork to test out the relationship, maybe live together before getting married, and these types of things take longer to get to know each other. Like, I think those are all wise. And then again, stuff can happen because we ultimately have absolutely no control of the future and of anyone's behaviors or actions or beliefs, and how things can change with people. And so we just cannot ultimately rely on somebody to always be there for us, even if you said, till death do us part, right? Stuff happens that pulls you apart. And sometimes it's really the best thing to separate. So, again, my advice, if I was going to give it, is always to put the most trust in yourself and your own capacity to take care of yourself, given the fact that life happens, accidents happen, unexpected events happen, and you don't know, what's coming down the pike in the future, but you develop a trust that you will be able to handle it or ask for help and that type of thing to manage whatever comes. Hope it's making sense. So if we come back to where we started and how you might be scaring yourself with, this could happen, that could happen. He might not love me anymore. He might decide to break up, or she might decide she likes somebody else, or she might decide to become a religious fanatic, or she might get in a car accident and die, or who knows, right? We can just scare ourselves with so many things. And of course, any of that is possible. And my recommendation is you just keep coming back to your own trust in yourself to handle whatever is happening. And if you don't have that trust in yourself, then you need to get some support. You need to do some work so you develop your own capacity to be bigger than life's ups and downs. So that's what I wanted to share. And I hope this has been helpful. So please let me know if it's been helpful and what's been the most helpful for you. If you're not yet in my world of email getting news about these types of things, I highly recommend you get in there, and I'm going to give you the link to sign up for my freebie. My freebie is a free guide to the biggest relationship mistakes and how to avoid them, and it has some super simple actionable tips that you can implement right away. It's a short guide. It'll take about 10 minutes to read through it. So if you go to robinsmith.net, you will see at the top of that page, there's a link to get the free guide. So just grab that, and then you'll get the updates about the free communication training coming up and other master classes that I'm going to be offering. So thanks for being here. Hope you have a lovely day or evening or whenever you're watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.